Today I got to work on this carne asada Corso. Her name is Zena, and this is her first time at the groomer. She's only 7 months old and over 100 pounds already. Her nails did need a trim, my favorite. But we'll get those ears cleaned up. And because it's her first time, we're going to take it real easy on her. We don't want to traumatize her or get eaten in the process. So we started with that blueberry facial. Then we got that shampoo rolling in. And we used a sensitive shampoo on her today. Let me make sure we get all the pepperonis out of the hot pocket. Now I use my favorite rubber curry brush. It's going to get that shampoo scrubbed in there really well, get a nice clean. And nothing really coming out, so we're just going to finish this up once over from head to paw. Now we're going to get her rinsed down. She didn't want to move around too much, so I had to get up in there. Now we'll get a nice towel dry, with a smell check of course. Now the power dryer, which she did really well for. She didn't love it in some areas, as you can see the look of disgust here. But overall really well, especially for her first time. Now that she's dry, we'll get her sprayed down with the avocado mist and rubbed in with that rubber curry brush. Of course with some smell checks in between. Now I usually brush for about 5 minutes on a normal bath. But I'd say it usually takes about 10, at least with big dogs. All the cuddle time you gotta account for. Lastly, we'll make sure she has no eye boogers there. Then we'll check her nice, clean, healthy, fresh coat. All the natural oil's still there. And she's all ready to go home. And to a show the next day. Today I got to work on this little boxer named Creed. I may have taken his name a little too literal. But we get them all rinsed down real well. Then we start off with that blueberry facial, get that shampoo rolling in. Use a sensitive on him today. Get him in his hot pocket all scrubbed up. Now we're going to use this soft rubber curry brush to get that shampoo scrubbed in really well. This brush works well on any dog, but it's definitely my favorite for short hair. Nothing really coming out, so we're going to go straight for that rinse down. He was a good boy with the water and stayed still near his ears. Now a quick towel dry. Then moving on to the power dryer, which he did really well on also, but he was definitely a bit scared. He just wanted to cuddle up and be held, which I'm okay with. Then he gets a little hungry and wants to eat some air, I guess. So we finish up there, and now moving on to the brushing with that avocado mist. Gonna get this spread around all nicely. And of course I get distracted half the time because he's so playful. Once we do it a couple times over, check that brush. Nothing much, so we'll move on. Now he's throwing hands like he wants to box or something. I heard he was undefeated, but I think he had a padded record. So we went a few rounds. He had a really good chin on him. It was a solid back and forth, pretty even fight. I definitely knocked him out off camera though. I just forgot to hit record. Who do you guys think won? Once the fight's over with, we get him his Easter bandana. He throws some shots after the bell. Now we'll get a close-up of his nice, healthy, clean, shiny coat. No crazy hair coming out. And he's all ready to go home. Today I got to work on this puppy named Ghost. They think he might be a pit Malinois mix. He was definitely crazy like a Malinois. And the owners requested a flea bath, so we start with that. We use a spray shampoo combo and then let it sit for 10 minutes. Of course, one of my employees screwing around with me. And we let the shampoo sit for 10 minutes, so I get some brushing done in between. Not too much coming out, but enough to keep going. Gonna keep getting them brushed up from head to paw. Now we're making some progress with that hair. And today we finished with that blueberry facial. Got a quick rinse down and towel dry. Now the power dryer where his drama starts to show. He looks pretty tough, but he's just a big baby. He even makes me get in the tub with him just to get him fully dry. And then we finish up here and then move on to the brushing or the playtime, whatever you want to call it. We also have that avocado mist on him, and you can see how much hair it's getting out here. He's getting a D-shed as well, so we're going to do that full 10 minutes of brushing, if not more. You can see how much is coming out on this rubber curry brush, so I'm going to switch to the Equi Groomer. This is usually going to do a better job than that rubber curry of getting that loose hair out. A lot of times, though, I'll test out a few brushes, see what works best. Start getting them a little too hyped, so I have to chill out a little bit. Now I'll give you guys a close-up of all the hair that's actually coming out. Definitely more than I expected. Now I'll make sure he's all good to go. I figured a white bandana because his name is Ghost. Or maybe I just wanted us to match. Now we'll get a close-up of his nice, clean, healthy coat. No crazy hair coming out. One last hug goodbye, and he's all ready to go home. Today I got to work on this little lab named Odie. And he's getting a D-shed today. As you can see here, he definitely needs it. So we'll get him in the tub and rinse down. And we started off with that blueberry facial. We got that shampoo rolling in. Conditioner right on top of the shampoo for the D-shed. And with lab coats, I usually like to use these gloves here. So we'll start that process of brushing from head to paw. That's going to get a real nice clean and remove a lot of hair, as you can see there already. And normally for D-sheds, I'm going to do this for about 10 minutes in the bath. Make sure he's feeling good. And during the 10 minutes, you're going to lose some shampoo on those gloves, so you want to add some as needed. If it starts to dry out too much, it's not going to remove as much hair. And this boy's just losing an extreme amount. After just a few swipes, it's really just filling these gloves up. I even had to shorten some of these clips because there was so much. But here's the last one there. Now we'll get them rinsed down with a quick towel dry. Then we'll move on to the power dryer. And this is usually really important for those D-sheds. And you can tell he wasn't loving it, especially right here. He does his best to stay strong and power through, but he's just not having it. Thankfully, he let me get a pretty good blowout on most of his body. So So we'll stop it right there. He did his best. That's all I could ask for. Now he's dry, and of course the Equus Avocado Mist. Then we'll use my favorite D-Shed brush, the Refresh. Do this process for another 10 minutes or so. You can see how well it's working already, and it's not bugging him at all. You can see he's just sitting there like a good boy for me. Make sure to give him some love in between. Maybe a little kiss too. And 10 minutes is just my general guideline. You can go longer if needed. I'll get you guys some close-ups of how well this is really working. No crazy hard brushing or anything needed. Just going to pull up that undercoat nice and easy. So much footage of the hair just falling off with this brush. I'm going to have to shorten these last few. And if you're at home using one of these, I definitely recommend doing this every few days at least. That's the #1 best thing you could do to reduce shedding on your dog. Finish up there and we'll show you guys the aftermath of all the hair coming out. And that's just from the 10 minutes after the bath. You can see how good Odie's feeling and looking. So we'll check out that nice, clean, healthy coat. No crazy hair coming out. Got a good shine to it. And he's all ready to go home. After a few more pets, that is. Today I got to work on this beautiful little baby. So before the bath, we got the nails all trimmed up. Then we'll pop her in that bath and get the ears cleaned. I usually like to do these 2 things before the bath. Now we'll get her rinsed down real well. Then we start off with that blueberry facial and got that shampoo rolling in. I usually use the sensitive on short-haired breeds like this. Then we'll get that rubber curry brush to get that shampoo all scrubbed in real well. Get that worked in from head to paw for 5 minutes. We'll see if we're getting any hair out. Her coat's so short it's having trouble holding the shampoo, so we're going to add some as we brush. You never want to be stingy with that shampoo. Finish up the 5 minutes and we notice she has some type of sore on her back end. We'll get something on that later. Now we'll get her all rinsed down really good. Then a quick towel dry. Now we'll move on to the power dryer. And apparently at home she's a hyper psychopath, but thankfully not here. Once dry, we'll get that avocado mist on that rubber curry brush again. Put the timer on for about 5 minutes. Can see a lot more hair coming out now, so we'll switch over to that equi groomer. And it's hard to tell because the hairs are so short, but quite a bit is coming out. Then we'll finish up with that stiff rubber curry brush. Got a nice little pile of hair out. Then a quick blowout for that loose hair. Now we'll get this Microtech Pet Gel right on that sore. Then some secret sauce for the coat. Get that all rubbed in. Now a close-up of her healthy, clean, shiny coat. Got her so brown, she's going home to cuddle up in her San Marcos blanket. Today I got to work on this pit bull named Dory. And she was a nice young lady. Got her in the tub and rinsed down. Then we started off with that blueberry facial. And got that shampoo rolling in. With 2 hands this time. Towel on the booty. Then we'll get that soft rubber curry brush. And we'll get her brushed up from head to paw. This is going to get a really good scrub going. As well as removing any loose dead hair. Of course I got to get some kisses in between. Then we'll continue this process for 5 minutes. And she's been such a good girl just sitting there for me. Finish up there. Now we'll get her rinsed down with a quick towel dry. And a smell check, of course. Now I'll move on to that power dryer. She does really well on this too, which is always helpful. And even better with some more kisses. Now we'll get that Equus Avocado Mist with that soft rubber curry brush again. And she's feeling great, ready to play, give some more kisses. I could definitely help with that. So I try a few different brushes and she wasn't really losing anything. So we just really get to play this entire time, which is fine by me. She just keeps viciously attacking me with her kisses and tail whips, of course. Those things are brutal. Give her some booty slaps. They love those. I'll just give her one final hug and mess with her a little bit right before she leaves. Get her all bowed up. Check out her nice, clean, healthy coat. No crazy hair coming out. Super shiny, and she's all ready to go home.